Welcome to the Business Spotlight. Today, we have got a really cool episode. You're going to really enjoy this. We've got Grant Spencer from MRJ Recruitment and the MRJ Group. Now, Grant is former football player turned managing director. How cool and how rare is that? And Grant's going to share his story with you and guide you through his learnings that he's had from growing and scaling a company as well, so that you can go and do the same thing. But I don't want to share too much of your story, Grant, because that's what you're here to do. Welcome to the Business Spotlight.
Thank you, mate. Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you as well. So, Grant, I can't wait for you to share your story. I'm super excited about this. So, can you take us right back? It would be cool to hear a little bit about the sports career and then how you ended up in business and the history of your company. Over to you.
Yeah, no. So I think like every like majority of young lads grew up South Manchester, massive City fan, always wanted to play. I say that back then it was always United. I was the one lad in the blue shirt, but I think it's gone full circle. So it was always school, home, football out, weekends, football, parents traveling everywhere with football. Probably got serious as I was 12 when I say it properly got serious. Signed for then Oldham Athletic. My brother was there, so it was quite an easy move. Probably helped by my parents going to one venue rather than two and three all the time. Um, Standard, as you'd expect, Tuesday, Thursday nights training. But then at 14, I actually got scouted, signed, bought, however you wanna put it, for Bolton Wanderers when they were in the Premier League. So that was at 14. Then it was 4-year contract with an option of a fifth year. That's when my life completely changed. It was out of school on a Wednesday, training for pretty much full time, 3 days a week, trying to get as much school as you can because Bolton used to check up on you. You have to make sure you got the work done, to allow you to go and enjoy being a young footballer. Really, we were doing trips to Austria, played in Dubai when I was 15, and then leaving school 16. I remember I moved out the day after my final GCSE, so when everyone was going out doing what young kids do, I was straight into training. Moving out, leaving my parents. Best time of my life. It was brilliant. You basically lived with your mates.
Yeah.
You went, you trained, you played football, you come back, you played on the Xbox, you played pool, you just literally played with your mates. Brilliant. Going well during my start of the second year. So when I was 18, broke my leg and my ankle. And that was when things just drastically changed. You'd go into training and I'd be on a handbike or I'd be getting acupuncture and then sitting around watching players do what I wanted to do, play out. And I think it was 6 months before I got back playing. Wasn't the same. Further setbacks. Then got to the point where I fell behind. Don't mind admitting that. I wasn't as good as players who'd really progressed. Got the option of another year, and it was like I was very, very like not arrogant, it's probably the wrong word, but I was like, no, I need to play. I want to get out. I want to play. So I ended up going over to Scotland, which was do you remember the winter when it was just ice? Scotland was ice. So I
Yeah.
went to Scotland for like 3 weeks. I don't think I trained on grass once or trained outdoors. So I was like, this isn't great. And then so I just let my contract run out and I thought, like everyone else, in the summer, I'll get a club. I've been at Bolton. I got bought when I was 14. I've got a good resume. I've played reserve football. It just didn't happen for me. Went to a few clubs and like we're taking a risk on you. You're 18. You've not played in a year. We're taking a risk. My ankle now leg is plated. It's bolted. And probably the summer then I thought, this isn't for me. It was very much, I'm not the same player. My technique was different. I wasn't as fit as I was, and I was blaming everything. So I thought, right, what do I know? I know football. So I started going to schools, doing coaching, but then it was 8 till 9:30 I'd work, and then I'd jump back at work at 4 till 7. And I wasn't building a career. I was just like plodding along, plodding along, plodding along. And then fortunately for me, I met an ex-professional footballer, a fellow called Stephen McPhee. He played like Blackpool, Port Vale, and he was in the process of buying a printing franchise. So he's like, do you know what? Come into the real world with me. We're going on a journey. Let's go see what a proper day's work's like. So I went in with him, and he was like, we need to go and sell. So I'd get into work and I'd go door to door selling. We're the new printer in town. Can we quote you? Can we do your business cards, leaflets, banners? Did that for about 6 to 8 months. And then I enjoyed it, but again, he was just starting off. He put everything he had into it. He was growing. He was trying to give you as much as he could. He was brilliant for me. I've got so much to thank for, because he was my first kind of route into the real world.
Yeah.
And then I met Jody, who was the founder of MRJ. I actually met him through a friend playing Sunday League football. I got roped into a game. He was a manager. Just got chatting to him afterwards. Like, what'd you do, mate? He goes, I've got a recruitment agency. I was like, what's that? He goes, it's recruitment. It's selling. You've come into a change room on a Sunday morning. You can speak to people. Come in, meet me. So I met him the following week, and he was like, yeah, here's a role. Here's an opportunity. Here's a progression plan for you almost. You do well, you kick on. So that was it. Took the role. Massive thanks to Steve. He completely understood it. I'd helped him kickstart his business. So still speak today. That was 10 years ago. Still speak today. So then, the recruitment journey started. And when I walked in, I thought, I've been in changing rooms. I've been dropped from teams. I've been shouted at. I've been screamed at. I'm resilient. And I think that was the first thing that, wake up in the morning, I had a bad day. I was like, you're resilient. Go back in, start again. Have a good day. You can always do better. Have a bad day. It's done. Start again. You're better than that. So that's where the recruitment journey started, really. It was, what was it? First year was, there's a list of people to call. Old school recruitment, I call it. Call them, set up a call for your manager. Hope your manager gets them over the line. Gradually progressed, but I think where my skill set really shone was very, very much a people person. You can put me in situations where I'm confident, if you like, and I'm not afraid of someone saying, you're not for me. I completely accept that. I'd rather people tell me that than to drag things out. So I can literally lie under it, move on. So from there, progressed into like a account management kind of role, where I'd just be liaising with clients, maybe working with a wider team. And then from that, it just progressed into I've become like the leader, the captain, if you like, of the office. And people were coming to me just because he had that kind of personality. And then so I progressed into like a managerial role, and then into the MD role. The reason we've done that is, if you met Jody, or you meet Jody, or anyone knows Jody, he just loves recruitment. He loves recruitment. I love it, but I'm more of a team player, a team man, whereas I'm not sure if you know recruitment, it's very much individual desks. So then that's how the role set about. Leadership role, managing, growing, building, developing people. Because I was given that opportunity. The opportunity that Jody gave me is what I want to give people. Like, I didn't come out of school. I did all right at my GCSEs just because Bolton made me. My parents were always on me. But then it was college, you did the football BTEC, which was 1 day a week.
Yeah.
Drawing basically in college, you got given it. But I got the opportunity and I got that support network, and I got the no questions, silly. People learn differently, people pick things up differently. So I've always wanted to give a little bit back. And this is where we're up to now is I want to grow the team. I want to grow it with people who want opportunity. People who want to come in, work hard, do what I did almost when I started recruitment. I think it was the 10 to 7 train into the office, and it could be the 8 o'clock train home.
And as you now to kick on and grow again, and obviously your career has grown massively, and now as you kick on to grow the group, like you said, bringing in more people, I think it's always cool for the viewers to understand what challenges people are going through as well, so that they don't just see this polished version. What do you see as the challenges moving forward as you go to grow again?
I think the main challenge, which everyone's probably experiencing, is the current climate. How things are. I think the best way to describe it, it's hard. At the moment, things are tough, and the resilience thing's massively key. Some people need that shoulder to cry on almost. Some people need that come on. And I think it's the same in all the roles I've done. It's identifying what people need.
Yeah.
And there, I think, is my biggest challenge. Like some of the guys here, they need you're better than this. Come on, look what we can do when we do this. And some people like, I know it's tough. Stick in there, make sure you do what you need to do, and things will happen. And I think that's the biggest challenge, is identifying how to develop and grow people. Yeah. Especially in this, because things can change at the drop of a hat now. People can have plans, companies can have plans, and they can be slashed. Like, unfortunately, I've turned the news bulletins off on my phone because it just seems to be bad news at the moment. And then I always say to them, it's for myself to worry about that. You just make sure you worry about yourself and things will happen. So that's probably the biggest challenge, is the negativity that's going around at the moment, and it's how to deal with that, and how some people react to different kind of messages from myself, really.
Yeah, I had 3 like real golden bullets so far, Grant. First one was every day when you was going through the tough stuff, you was kind of saying to yourself, "I'm resilient," and that almost like self-affirmation, I think, is just a massive golden nugget. Second one is look after your team, because right now when things are tough,
Correct.
actually, yeah, it's about looking after your team and really rallying them and using that. I think some of the sporting managers in multiple sports are some of the best managers and leaders on the planet, and I think there's a lot to learn in business from some of those strategies. I think that's really, really powerful as well. And third, just be careful of letting that negativity. And I love that, turning the news off, because the news is always bad news. And
Yeah,
looking at, right, how do I make sure that I'm staying positive and the team is staying positive as well? So I suppose as we get towards the end of the interview, what I would say is, what would you say are the 1 or 2 other key golden nuggets, really, that you would attribute your growth to and the growth of the company?
I think the one thing for me as well is about the individual who comes into MRJ and our business, is sometimes it's not just an individual. Like, to actually take an interest in them away from work as well. I'm not saying they have to become your best friend, but just to know if they are struggling a little bit, it's be there for them to speak to you. And I think we want to really invest heavily into having a soundboard. If they don't want to speak to me, no problems. But there's a platform that we use where they can go and have a chat with somebody.
Yeah.
And that makes them just comfortable that there is challenges, but they're comfortable when they come to work. It's work, have a break, have a change, and have that kind of release. And I want to try and make the environment we have as fun as possible. So then when people come in, they're actually excited about coming to work. Like there's things at the moment where people don't want to go into the office. People want to go in the office. It's going to be a conversation that's going to go on forever. People are cutting down to 4 days a week, 4-day working weeks. It's always going to go on, and you're not going to 100% please everyone. But as long as you've got that kind of flexibility and you've got that kind of we're here for you approach, I think that's how you grow individuals.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing for me, I can't remember the player who said it. I actually picked it up from Eddie Howe, Joe, the Newcastle manager, whereas he made an effort when he signed players or when he went in, he found out like partners and children's birthdays.
Ah, nice.
And it's little things like that I think go quite a long way. So from growing individuals, I think that's a massive thing that I really set out to do, is getting to know them and not just having them as morning done.
Yeah.
Where are we up to? What are our figures saying? Actually know them as people. That's a big one for me to grow the company. And then when people come in and join us, like we've hopefully going to have a cohort of like 4 or 5 joiners in February. Everyone gets exactly the same kind of respect from me and respect from the senior team here. That they are comfortable coming to work and they feel part of it. That's the big one for me. And I think that stemmed from day one, moving out, being by myself. I want to be part of something all the time. And that's the benefits of football. And I'm a stickler for time. I shouldn't be. It irritates me because I know things happen, and I was late to this, so I'm not really practicing what I preach. But just that kind of respect thing, I think you can't go and ask for respect. I think you've got to give it to get it. I think that's how you grow people.
Yeah.
And from a business point of view, exactly the same ethos really. Get out and tell our story, prove what we're good at, show what we're good at and why we're good at it. And I think that's how we're going to grow the group really.
Yeah, completely get that. There's some real golden nuggets there, Grant, on management and leadership. So let's wrap up with this. How do our viewers get in touch with you if they've got any more questions?
So in terms of that, get in touch with me, LinkedIn. My mobile's on there. I'm not one of them that doesn't share my mobile. I'm always here, whether it's, I did a post recently on my LinkedIn about end of last season, people who get released and they think the world's over because they've come out of a sport. I think you mentioned it with your boxing. You think it's over, but no, you learn from everything. And I think every challenge you have in your life, you learn from. And if I can help somebody, I'm more than happy to help somebody. Don't just contact me because you think, oh, I want to get some recruitment advice. I want to need some investment for my business, or I want to know something about recruitment. Contact me if you need some advice. I want to help share my story as much as I can, because I don't want to say it, because I'm fortunate enough where I've had a good network around me all the time. And if you want to contact me, just contact me.
Beautiful.
LinkedIn, email, phone. I'm around to help, advise, and even if it's to advise on someone's probably our age now and you've got kids who've been released from football or not been picked from the team, how do you react? Just go again. Dust yourself down and go again. And I think we've mentioned it quite a lot of times. It's that resilient piece, and it's that transitional piece where learn from what you've done in the past. Learn and learn.
So true. Grant, thank you so much for taking the time.
No, not a problem.
Running a business with our viewers.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.